This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24. Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 23rd of August for I don't know what kind of episode. It's a mixed episode, this one. So, well, let's get started with the obvious one. Apparently, there was a new flight simulator that was released this week, apparently. I'm not really sure why I would think that, but apparently there's been a lot of talk about it. Of course, we are talking about the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator, Microsoft's long-awaited return, official long-awaited return to the flight simulation genre. So this is a full brand new sim. This isn't just a reboot of FSX. This isn't just a something, a small sort of slice of the world where you have to buy everything in piecemeal. This is, again, true to form, a wide range of aircraft available to the world, and a full world available at launch, the entire planet there, with an updated nav list, updated airports, and everything else that goes with it. This time produced in amazing photoreal detail all over the world, covered courtesy of Bing Maps, covered with procedurally generated buildings, powered by Black Shark AI, with charts supplied by Jefferson, with taking advantage of brand new technology, including Azure AI to power various functions, including the way that AutoGen is delivered, including also in the way the data is streamed to you, as well as how the ATC works. Whole slew of new features and amazing features coming through as well, with different contents as well in different types of aircraft as well. Like, there's just so much coming through in this sim. It is just absolutely amazing. It really is. Now, is it perfect? No. Let's be clear on this. Is it perfect? No. I mean, I haven't done my official review video yet, but I've been streaming it pretty much constantly for over a week now, over on Twitch, Twitch TV /NovaWing24, and we've been covering off all of the aircraft. We've been covering off all of the, or at least not all the aircraft, but a large number of the aircraft, a large number of the airports there, both some of the in excess of 37,000 airports that are procedurally generated, as well as the up to 40 airports that have been handcrafted and supplied as well. So what's the big thing? There's so much to say about this, about why this is the next big thing. Like, this really is that, as I said, is it absolutely 100% perfect out of the box? No. However, I will 100% stand by and say that this is the absolute best in-class desktop flight simulation software ever produced. It cannot. The fact is that in terms of a flight simulation, a desktop flight simulator, X-Plane 11 and Prepared and Aerofly cannot hold a candle to it. Is it perfect? No, it's not. Does it have issues? Yes, it does. But out of the box, this thing does what you would need to do. You would need to sink thousands of dollars, or at the very least hundreds of dollars at the very least, into any other platform to get anything even remotely close to what this sim can do. This sim does out of the box. I 100% recommend it to everybody. I'm just going to take a slight personal note here and say that there has been a small but vocal group of extended simulation family that have been very negative with that. All I'm going to do and say to you, because you know who you are, is pull your damn head in. Be very cautious about some of the things that you are saying, because one particular comment, and I've highlighted this particular comment is in several forums previously, is that one particular individual said that the whole sim was absolute rubbish, was terrible, was absolutely horrible. Eventually, that after being pressed for multiple comments, eventually they revealed that they were unhappy. They didn't agree with how much, or how the A320neo that's supplied with the sim works, although they believe that the rotation speed was off. When they were challenged on what their experience level was like, is that they did eventually acknowledge that the GA flight experience was far better than anything else they've experienced. When they were asked about what they were basing their information off about the performance of the aircraft was, they said, well, how many hours in do you have on, as pilot in command or first officer of an A320neo? They came back and said that their only experience was flying in desktop flight sims. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. I'm just going to let that sink in for a minute. Okay, just imagine how that individual actually sounds. All right. So, is this sim going to be like what you've experienced before for the last 10 years in X-Plane or Prepared? No, it's not. Because this sim models so much more in so many ways that it is just incredible. If you would like to, I would like to invite anybody before they start criticizing the sim. And as I said, it has its issues. I am fully aware of them, and I've highlighted many of them, and I have done my due diligence by reporting those to Microsoft and Asobo via the help desk system, as well as discussing them on my forums, on my streams, and in my videos. Are there problems? Yes, and I have discussed them. I have discussed them openly. However, I also am taking the time to look through the information as supplied and going through and finding out what's going on under the hood in this sim, because what is being simulated under the hood in this sim is absolutely mind-blowing compared, and leaves every other sim out there in the dust. So I just want to, as I said, it's a slightly negative kind. I do not like being negative. I really don't. But I think that we as a community need to start calling each other out when we. Now, as I said, I'm not a blind fanboy here. Are there issues? Absolutely. The fact that I can't pick up in the G1000, I can't pick up and shoot a full ILS approach. That's a problem. That is fundamentally, that's a huge issue for me. However, I can still shoot an ILS using a steam gauge. So, and the fact that I can feel ridge lift when I fly close to mountains or fly over changes of terrain. The fact that I can use different, have different weather experiences going through while flying, especially high altitude flying as well. I'm not on rails in this sim like we are with others. I can do a single wing stall in this sim. I can do a high speed stall in this sim, which is almost impossible. In fact, it's flat out impossible in the other sims. So let's remember that as a community, we succeed or we fail together. Are there going to be issues? Yes, there are. But be proactive, be thoughtful about how we address those and how we work on those. Because we will get the sims that we deserve, or we are going to have to end up waiting another 10 years or 20 years before somebody else comes along again. Alright, I'm going to get off my soapbox now with that one and say that, right, so this one, as I said, so this is available, the base edition for this one, it starts at, it's really interesting actually, the base edition for this one starts at $60. However, if you want to give it a try, and if you are sitting on the fence, and as I said, this sim isn't perfect, it does have a few issues at the moment, and and for many who may prefer to fly certain forms of aviation, such as helicopters or such as airliners, this may not be the sim for you right now. It will definitely become your sim down the track, but may not be your sim right now. But if you want to give it a try, risk-free, you can actually sign up for Game Pass for PC, so Xbox Game Pass for PC. And you can access it via that for only $5 a month. In fact, if you've never used Game Pass before, there's a free trial available for a month. Well, not free trial, it's a trial you get it for $1 for a month. So you can give it a try. That gives you the base sim and the access to all the aircraft in the base edition. Otherwise, there are there's a couple different bonus packs available. You can also get the add-on deluxe pack and a premium pack as well, which includes a variety of different handcrafted airports and additional aircraft included for that one as well. As I said, those prices start from $60 if you want to buy the sim outright, or as included as the base sim included as part of the Xbox for Game Pass for PC subscription. Right, okay, so now that that's releases out of the way, let's move on to there was day one additional add-ons available for it from a variety of well-known developers. So the first of those was from Flightbeam. So Flightbeam released my favorite product of theirs, which is Denver International for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So they've released that one, and that one's come out. Again, it's interesting. I don't want to say it's a port over because it's not. So the changes that, as I said, this is a new sim. Microsoft Flight Simulator is a new sim. It's not just an FSX port. It's just an FSX clone. This is a new sim, which means new technology, new ways of doing things, and new workflows for all the developers. So as such, this is a brand new, from the ground up, development of Denver International Airport for Flight Sim from the developer of Flightbeam. Now they've produced, this includes handcrafted ground textures reflecting the real world airport, and ultra-realistic terminal textures based on photo surveys of the locations, full set of PBR materials throughout all of the airport modeling. Includes a update and overhaul of the apron lighting, as well as updated volumetric grass used throughout the airport grounds, and over 12,000 acres of custom buildings and textures have all been included as part of this add-on. And this one is available for $15 available either directly through the Flightbeam store, or available directly in your sim via the InStim marketplace. And another developer developer Carinado released their first aircraft for the new flight simulator with their release of the Cessna 182 Skylane. This is one of the popular single-engine touring aircraft, and it sort of complements the Cessna 172 and the 152 that form part of the sim already, because there's a nice little balance for this one. Now this includes makes of a custom high definition 3D model, custom interior with accurate 3D interior as well. This one apparently has opening doors, which is actually one of the issues that Microsoft acknowledged that none of their in-sim models currently do. Includes custom sound set, including original high quality digital sounds for internals and externals, full support for PBR materials internally and externally, as well as makes use of the Garmin G1000 and Cat 140 autopilot as standard as supplied with the sim. And this one is coming in at about $35 or original equivalent from the in-sim store, not available from Carinado's store. In the other major developer to release officially via the Microsoft Store on release day, Orbix released a range of add-on packs for the new sim. So a lot of these are for the most part, these are familiar titles and familiar ground from Orbix. They come across in their beautiful, their normal high quality. The first one that we saw was Orcas Airport, which is one of my favorite places to go into. So you're looking, again, it's a high detail resolution of the airport. I'm not really going to go too many details. As I said, however, I want to stress here that these models are not port overs. These are brand new ones. So they may have reused some of the photo reel they had previously, but a lot of times they've updated it. They've had to update their models and stuff like that because it's a different way of working. For the most part, they mostly do take advantage of the new Sims dynamics of the fact that it has 3D runways, so the fact that you have an undulating runway throughout undulating runways and taxiways. And indeed, if you head over to my Twitch channel, or I'll put there'll be eventually be on my YouTube channel in the next hopefully few hours, will be a flight that we took with the developer or with Elise from Orbix Systems, where we toured over several of these new airports released by Orbix on launch day. As well as Orcas Airport in the US, we also saw the release of Innsbruck Airport in Switzerland. We also saw a couple of UK airports released. We saw Leeds Bradford was released, as well as London City Airport. Now, the other pack that was released is the one that's caused the most controversy. Was the Landmarks pack of London City. So the airports all come in. The airports will come in from a range of from $15 up to $15 up to $20. The Landmarks pack came in at $8. Now this one was interesting. So this one has caused quite a stir in the sim community because, quite frankly, and I'll call this one, that the pack that was released was absolute rubbish. On certain monuments, it looked absolutely terrible. It looked awful. Tower Bridge, the Tower of London, and the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben looked absolutely awful, and it was really shocking that that product made it to market. During the live stream, during the discussion that we had with Orbix, we found out a bit more about it, where a lot of it was based on the fact that some of it they acknowledged that yes, it was not up to the standard that it should have been. They did acknowledge that. And as well as that, they also acknowledged the fact that the ones that shipped with the final flight sim from Microsoft and Asobo, those models were flat out far better. Now, what was interesting is part of the discussion that we had with Orbix was the fact that the build the developers were working with, they were advised it was reflecting the final build, but it turned out that it didn't. The models that they produced and they shipped with that landmarks pack, for those particular ones that a lot of the community went rather called them out on, were better than the ones that they were seeing in the build they had at the time that they were working with as developers. Obviously, there was a difference between the development, the pre-release development build and the final build, obviously. And what Orbix has done, Orbix have acknowledged that, and they have acknowledged the feedback from the community, and they have worked out, they've been reworking those models and retexturing them as required or removing them, and they've issued, as I'm recording this, a few hours ago they released an update for anyone who purchased it via the Orbix Direct store. If you've purchased it by the Microsoft store, they've sent the update to them. They are just currently waiting on Microsoft to approve it and finish it and publish the update to allow users to download it. But probably a point that I would like to make with this one as well is that it wasn't just those 5 landmarks that the community called them out on, or 4 landmarks the community called them out on here. There are over 400 landmarks in that pack, and it was interesting that the community didn't call them out for those because those landmarks were flat out not even in the sim. So I think that, again, as I sort of alluded to earlier, guys, is that we as a community need to absolutely call them out on when it is rubbish, because it was terrible. It looked awful, especially compared to what the default was at release day. But we also have to acknowledge the fact that the developers also, particularly those day one release developers, they took a risk and a gamble because they developed at risk, because it could have gone, they were hoping it didn't go sideways, and in Orbix for this case it went sideways for them. But what we should acknowledge as well is we should acknowledge that they are working with us as a community to fix it. So that's that one. Alright, so as I said, just recapping the prices quickly there. So as I said, Orcas Airport is $18 from the store, $11 if you are if you previously owned it through the Orbix Direct store for ESP or X-Plane 11. Leeds Bradford is same price, so it's $18 for new, $11 for an existing customer. Innsbruck is $20 or $12 for existing customer. London City is $15 or $9 for existing customers, and the London City Pack is $8. As I said, you can purchase these either direct through Orbix or you can purchase them direct through your sim. In order to get your discounts for being a previous owner, you must purchase them through Orbix Direct. Available now. Alright, moving on with other releases, early releases into the Microsoft Flight Simulator world. So we saw Giovetski Design release a couple of packs this week. So the first one he released for free, which is the Warsaw City Airports. So Warsaw City Airports provides 3 airports around the Polish capital, and fully compliant with Microsoft Flight Simulator, being fully native and developed purely for the sim, supporting full PBR textures throughout, all runways, taxiways, aprons correctly defined and updated, providing as well some ground clutter and custom static aircraft, cars and other elements of the airports as well. This one can be downloaded directly from his Facebook post in the link down below. In the other release for Giovetski Designs, he released the Moscow Landmarks Pack, which includes about almost 1,000 buildings, which have been custom made and provided and updated for the capital of Russia, and to build upon an update from the base sim. This package includes the complete district around the Kremlin, with a variety of custom-made buildings ranging from including hotels, train stations, bridges, stadiums, towers, and more, including the Ostrenko Tower are also included. All models are done with full PBR support and updated night and inclusive of night lighting as well. Along with the city itself, this pack also includes updates to a series of the nearby Moscow airports as well, to giving them a brief and quick update to make them a little bit more realistic, with providing some additional static aircraft as well. However, he does stress very clearly that they are not full-fledged airport add-ons that you would expect from a standalone package. So just give it a slightly more in line than what's been auto-provided by the Black Shark AI. And that one is coming in at $15 US, or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. In the other release for Flight Simulator World comes to us from Gaia Simulations, releasing their rendition of Zeemz Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this is a small GA strip, nestled in the Austrian Alps, including a 664 meter long runway, so hard runway, with 2 small grass strips as well, perfect for bush aircraft as well. So not much to say about this. It said the add-on seems to be nestled, just be limited to just the airport itself, and this one's available from the Orbix Direct store, coming in at $15 US, or your regional equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Moving out of the Microsoft Flight Simulator world, because there are still simulators outside of Microsoft Flight Simulator, moving into the world of X-Plane for a moment. Developer Boundless have come out with their latest release with their rendition of Kerry Airport in Ireland. It's also known as Fallon 4 Airport in County Kerry in Ireland. This is a small regional airport serviced by Aer Lingus Regional and Ryanair primarily. Now, this release includes a fully accurate layout of the a fully accurate airport layout of Kerry Airport as it appears in 2020, including multiple HD custom buildings covering the airport and surrounding area as well. The taxiways ramps have all been accurately represented, include accurate parking ramp starts for the sim as well, includes full support for PBR building textures and ground textures as well as a variety of PBR effects, including puddles, rivers, and wet textures as well. Includes HD ortho background for the airport and immediate surrounding area as well, with a variety of static GA aircraft and some of the nearby VFR landmarks, including electricity pylons and the church tower in Cuddo. As a interesting little side note, one of the highlights of the press release was that he'd added 3D sheep to most fields, because why not? I just want to give a huge shout out to Boundless Studios for this, Boundless Simulations for that, because dude, you rock for doing that. That's awesome. It's little things like that I appreciate in developers. So props to you guys. Props to you, buddy. Props to you. All right. So if you want to pick this one up, this one's available from Sim Market, coming in at $22 US, or your regional equivalent, available now. Moving out of X-Plane 11 and moving into the world of prepared, the ESP platforms from Fly Free Studios saw the release this week of their updated rendition of the Dassault Raphael. So the Dassault Raphael is a French twin-engined strike fighter, multi-role fighter, and services a variety of air arms around the world. Now, this is previously he'd had a version of this out for a while, and this is a major overhaul and update of this package, including giving 3 versions of this aircraft now, including the main aircraft, the C, which is a land-based single-seater, the M, the navalized carrier-based single-seater, and then the Bravo model, which is a 2-seat sort of trainer variant. It comes with a variety of 9 different texture sets covering all the major users of the airframe, including full 4K texture support, high definition 3D model externally and internally, including 4K textures internally, full set of advanced simulations of all major avionics systems, and multiple different of static weapons configurations. You can't use weapons because this is prepared, and FSX, and a realistic collimated HUD, and all gauges are base and functional as per their real life equivalents. Now, the developer Fly Free Studios has chosen to split this one based down the 32-bit, 64-bit delineator. So this is available for $19 US or your original equivalent from SimMarket for either the 32-bit version or the 64-bit version. There is no joint combined pack or discount offered for those packs, and these are available now from SimMarket. In another ESP platform sim release, I feel like I need to turn right for some reason. We saw the release this week from Tropical Sim of Albuquerque International. So this release is the main international airport servicing the US state of New Mexico and the Albuquerque metropolitan area, and is a very busy airport serving a variety of passenger and cargo airlines throughout, feeding into both international and domestic services as well. This is the layout airport as it appears during 2020, including a highly detailed rendition of it, including all major airport buildings, full custom auto-gen for the surrounding area as well, full support for dynamic lighting in the prepared versions, with choice of optional SOD animated jetways as well. Fully compatible with add-on AI traffic and designed to cooperate with other third-party sceneries, suitably suiting the area around it. Now, Tropical Sim has chosen to release this one, so you can pick this one up for $24 US. Now, they have split the product into a 32-bit, 64-bit divide. However, they're offering it's a free cross-platform, it's a free cross-purchase though. So if you purchase the prepared version for $24, you get the FSX version for free, and vice versa as well. So if you pick up the FSX version and pick up the prepared version later on, you'll get the update for free, and that one's available now from SimMarket. As we round out the ESP platform news, I want to give a huge shout out to one of my favorite freeware developers, Robert James Richardson. So he recently released, and I think this was a couple of weeks ago, I think I missed it. He released his rendition of the F9P photo aerial reconnaissance Cougar. So the Cougar was a multi-role aircraft used by the US Navy and US Marine Corps during the 1960s. It was one of the first swept-wing aircraft actually used by the US Armed Forces. Now, this particular one that he's released is the photo reconnaissance variant, so the P for photo reconnaissance variant, which were modified F9F8s, which had basically had all the guns and related equipment, gun sights and stuff like that removed, and the fuselage nose section rearranged, including lengthened by 12 inches to be able to enable all of the photo equipment to be installed. Also removed the radar system as well and added additional armor plate. So this one's been rendered for prepared in all its versions and is available for free from Robert James Richardson's website, available now. Moving out of the ESP Sims and moving to the world of DCS. DCS saw the release this week of the latest map of Syria this week. I was sort of like trying to find a way to actually sort of cover this, and I really couldn't think of a way to pronounce that better than that. So there you go. So this is a 600 by 500 kilometer map and includes parts of the Eastern Mediterranean, including Syria, or most of Syria, Israel, parts of Lebanon, and areas of Turkey and Jordan are also included. A variety of major cities, including Damascus, Tripoli, Latakia, Tartus, Homs, Aleppo, Hama, Palmyra, Haifa, Acre, Beirut, and Incirlik, Adana are all included with incredible custom detail, including hundreds of unique landmarks as well. The geography is a variety of various temperate options, including along the western coastline, with mountains and arid desert landscape to the east in the landform as well. This is an interesting one. It's very topical, of course, at the moment in current world events. But even with the current things as well, this part of the world has been seeing conflict for absolutely centuries. So it's going to be an interesting rendition of this one, and it looks pretty damn amazing. I'll definitely give that one as well. Now, this one's coming in. This one's available for both Steam and for standalone release. Now, the standard price for this one is $50, currently on a early access launch special for $40 US, or your original equivalent, available now from your favorite retail outlets. Moving out of the flight simulation world and moving into the world of the permanent way, saw the release this week of Train Sim World 2. Which is interesting because Train Sim World feels like it only came out like yesterday. Apparently, it turns out it was actually 2 years ago that it actually came out. So Train Sim World 2 builds upon the platform that's been generated by Dovetail Games with their proprietary simulgraphic vehicle dynamics engine within the Unreal 4 rendering engine and simulation engine. So this updated one includes sort of a couple of. I'm trying to figure out exactly what it changes, and I'll be honest, I can't figure out what it's actually changing. Like I genuinely can't figure out what it's actually changing. Um, it seems to basically the main change that that seems to be talked about is that the physics engine that they're using, their Simulgraph vehicle dynamics and physics engine, is change the adhesion physics of the wheels onto the actual rails of the tracks. So it actually modifies, and the way it portrays the wheel slip and wheel slide in various different weather conditions has been updated as well as the update of the overall visual fidelity of the sim as well, and introducing a full 4K support now as well. Now, along with that, one of the big things that is sort of one of the things that I've noticed, unfortunately, is not here, is it still doesn't appear to have any kind of workshop support or market or sort of user-driven marketplace at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. Which is something that they promised previously, and I've noticed that it's gone very quiet. I was hoping that they just didn't put it in Train Sim World 1 because Train Sim World 2 was coming. But the fact that it's not here yet is a little concerning. It does have a livery designer though, and a scenario player. So, but you can choose your own scenario, but you can't seem to share it, which is interesting. I may be wrong because I don't have it, but yeah, that's sort of interesting for that one as well. Now, this base sim includes a couple of trains. Includes the Deutsche Bahnhof ICE 3M high-speed rail train. Also includes the CSX AC 4400 as well for doing some freight hauling, as well as the London Underground and London Underground train support as well. So you get three main trains with three different areas are included with the base sim. Now, probably the biggest thing that I did want to highlight, and I was really concerned about this, is that this does build on Train Sim World 1, which for some unknown stupid reason the Dovetail decided to rename to Train Sim World 2020, which is a bad choice. You should have called it 2018 because that's when it came out, just saying, but moving on. If you have, so what they're doing is they're launching what they call their preserved collection, which is Train Sim World 1 content that is they are making compatible with the new sim. Now, so they released 5 pieces of day 1 DLC. Now, if you already own these trains or routes, so these were the Brighton, Eastbourne and Seaford route, the Duisburg, Bochum, Rhein-Ruhr route, the San Francisco, San Jose route, and the Caltrain, Baby Bullet and Caltrain diesel switcher. If you owned any of those 5 pieces of DLC for Train Sim World 1, you already own these for Train Sim World 2. It's a free upgrade for you, which I have to say I am really happy with. That makes me very, very happy with that one, because I was a little concerned that you were going to have to buy them again. But you don't, and that's really, really important, and that's really, really good to see. Now, if you are wanting to pick this one up to expand your train simulation collection, coming in for the surprisingly low price of $30 US, or your regional equivalent, available now on Steam. Continuing with vehicle simulation, but moving on to the bitumen with OMSI 2's latest release of Coach Bus 256. So this is really interesting, actually. So this is the tagline for this one: that they are not born a legend, they become a legend. So this is the Hungarian Coach Bus 256 family, which was first created during first produced in the 1970s, and they can still be found applying the roads of Europe to this day, which is awesome. So there are 11 different bus types and years of manufacture included with this pack. That's a lot of stuff with this pack. It's a lot. So the interesting thing is that one of the reasons for its success in the real world is that it's a large class bus designed to support and transport people over long distances, but it's also designed to be modular. So you can actually swip it out as to be whether you want to use it as a high capacity suburban bus, or use it as more of a tourist bus configuration, or a more spacious long haul configuration. Now, this one, as I said, there's 11 different types and years of manufacture included as one, each one with custom different authentic layouts of the driving cab and of the engine layouts, including a variety of different diesel engines, and different manual and automatic transmissions are included as well. So as I said, a lot going on here. So with each of these versions, as I said, all custom layouts, custom designs, custom sound sets for each of them. This pack is available for $15 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And rounding out the simulation release news for the bumper edition of the NovaWrap this week, saw the release of PGA Tour 2K21. Could we just not? Could we have just called that 2021? Like, could we have just have done that? That would have been so much easier. Anyway, this is the latest release of a golfing simulator. I'll be honest, I haven't played a golfing sim since Microsoft Golf. Back in the 90s, I think was the last time I played golf on a computer or anywhere, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so this one is the latest one, including fully authorized and licensed logos and player names throughout. You can play against the pros, play with your crew. It's got a custom PGA Tour career mode to see if you've got what it takes to become FedEx Cup champion. You got all the major, so you got 12 top pros all included with the course, as well as all the major, range of real life courses all included. Includes you have the option to be able to build your own player, including your own custom equipment, brands and apparel all included, and you can also create your own course, your own dream course, with thousands of different custom options you can choose from. It also includes a variety of multiplayer options, including local and online, so sort of hot seat and online options as well, and a variety of custom rule options as well for your games and tournaments that included as well. And it promises the most realistic courses ever with this one, with true to life and true to form PGA Tour broadcast presentations, including slick graphics, dynamic cutscenes, and a seamless replay system as well, all anchored by the play-by-play commentary of Luke Elvey and Rich Beam. That's kind of cool, but epic. Anyway, if you want to pick this one up, it's coming in at $60 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that does now round up the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And if you'd like to support me and all the work that I do here and over on Twitch as well, please consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/NovaWing24. And you can get some cool new exclusives and some insights and early access to content that I make available. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.